Joining me now to sort through this, Joseph Scott Morgan, professor of applied forensics at Jacksonville State University. Glad you're with us to kind of get your take on this. You not only have done reenactments, you teach it as well. It is key in several investigations, especially if you go to trial with this, used as evidence.
Yeah, you do. Remember, Susan, this is a moment frozen in time, essentially, that you can't go back to, but you recreate this event. You think about the narrative that Chris Watts put forth to begin with, where he discussed being able to see on the monitor that he could see that his daughter's face had turned blue. Mm-hmm. And what they're attempting to do here is to try to demonstrate that is it actually appreciable that he could have accomplished this. This is a condition called cyanosis, and it happens when people are strangled.
And it's hard to see.
It's very hard to see. It's very grainy footage, and this goes to, you know, just trying to demonstrate it. See if the proof is actually in the pudding here relative to this level of technology and how clear it is.
And it is hard to hear Chris Watts, especially lying to police before he admitted that he killed Shanann, and that story. Let's listen to part of this interrogation here.
I'm just wondering, what do you think ultimately made Shanann snap?
Just knowing that I had an affair, and she knew. She just needed me to admit it, and I would admit it.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls.
He's saying these girls, meaning his daughter, and his first story, or second story, if you will, is that his pregnant wife found out he was having an affair and then turned on her little girls, which didn't seem feasible. It seemed like the police were onto this guy from the start, therefore doing the reenaction. The sooner the better in this case. Yeah,
absolutely, and you have to do this while this is all fresh. And this is just a tiny little part of the sum total of all of the evidence. We've got polygraph, we've got all of these other things, not to mention videography of him outside of the home moving about and this sort of thing. But there was a kernel of truth in there. You know, you talked about, well, yeah, I had an affair, so they're already on to something here.
And when children are involved in cases like this, I mean, this is one of the most horrific cases that we have ever seen in terms of the pregnant wife being strangled, smothering two little girls, the older girl trying to fight back, even biting her tongue on this, as the DA said. So they're going to do everything they possibly can to keep this in line in terms of the investigation.
Yeah, and it becomes very, very compelling. And I think that at the end of the day, what kind of drove him to finally confess was this huge wall that they had constructed vis-a-vis these reconstructions and all of this kind of sifting through all of this information and building this thing out. It was just too big of an obstacle for him to overcome.
Joseph Scott Morgan, always appreciate your expertise on this. Thank you.
Great to be here.